Jay, I should actually direct this one towards you because it's your Duke Blue Devils. How about Grayson Allen going 21 to the Utah Jazz? He'll now play with Donovan Mitchell. The guy's a household name. You know this. How do you think he's going to do at the NBA level?
You know, so much of the NBA is about fit, guys. I think that's a perfect fit for him to play along Quinn Snyder, who's the head coach. Obviously had time at Duke. And then how about this? Him and Donovan Mitchell have history. I mean, they've got into fights when they played Duke-Louisville games. Donovan Mitchell, there's a video out there of him slapping Grayson. Grayson at times pushing Donovan, almost, a deliberate or non-deliberate kind of trip thing going on about Grayson. It's really funny. Last night watching the draft and seeing Donovan Mitchell go up and embrace Grayson was a great thing that you'd like to see. And I will say this about Grayson Allen. You may not like who he is on the court, but that kid is going to be there, and he's going to be in your face, and he's going to be physical with you. And he's a strong, bigger guard. He's 6'5", and he can shoot lights out. And for a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who likes to have the ball in his hands, likes to shoot, but can create off the dribble, having a guy like Grayson Allen come off the bench, provide that toughness, I think that's a really value pick for the Jazz.
One of the things that I wanted to say, I'm glad you brought up Grayson Allen, Molly, because first of all, understand the kid can play. He can shoot. He's not scared of big moments. He goes after it. He can put the ball in the hole. And obviously, he was exceptionally well coached by one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen in the history of the sport. But the other thing is that a lot of times people have been looking to get all over this guy because of his emotional state of mind. At times, he did seem unstable in the younger years or what have you. But part of that is because he has such a high level of competitive fervor. We applaud it in most situations. Sometimes we want it checked, but it just seemed a concerted effort that was being made for folks to condemn this kid. I've always liked this kid. I've always liked his moxie. And when you think about the fact that he's going to be in an environment like Utah, I think that's a perfect environment to him. And I'd like to applaud the Utah Jazz for what they have in guys like him and Donovan Mitchell. To lose a Gordon Hayward, but then to turn around and come back and to have a Donovan Mitchell. I'm not talking about just a player. He loves being in Utah. You've got Grayson Allen, who I think is going to love being in Utah. I think when you look at the mental makeup that they're putting together in Utah of this basketball team, I think it's something impressive to watch.
That's a good point, I think, but you could have had Robert Williams. And, when you see Danny Ainge take him, you go, oh, God, that's a smart pick. Is that because
they got Rudy Gobert, Max?
Yeah, you got Gobert and you have Derek Favors. You have two guys who are very athletic and long.
Sure, but but I don't think you draft for fit. You draft the best available player. So the question is, was Grayson Allen a surprise at all in that slot to you, Jay?
No, I don't think so. And I think when I think about Robert Williams, one of the things I've seen from him, first off, he got suspended from his team. And the culture of Texas A&M was kind of awkward. You had a lot of guys get suspended for, marijuana issues. You had guys got suspended for not following team curfew, whatever it may be. He was one of the first. Now, last year, he would have been a top 10 pick. Like, there was so much intrigue about him. And then him coming back to school. You know what? It's really funny. It turns into a bigger conversation, but everybody says you need to come back to school and prove that you can do this on a consistent night. Here's a prime example of a guy that last year would have been a top 10 pick, decided to come back to school, which all the fans wanted him to do, and then he didn't live up to the expectations, and now he got drafted late first round, 27th. The culture you're being drafted to is everything. And I'll say this from experience.
I understand that, the destination, Jay.
Well, let's
guess
add,
what?
guys,
Two things you don't have to worry about.
He got drafted by Boston. Let's just put that out there so everyone knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the culture of where he's being drafted is so much better, Max.
Yeah, sure, but the two things you don't have to worry about in the NBA is getting into trouble for weed or breaking curfew, Jay. Because and Danny Ainge, once again, all I know is when Danny Ainge took him, I'm like, well, there you go. The rich get richer. Like the Celtics have an embarrassment of riches.
Max, I actually can show you. Max, I actually can show you a few cases where you can get in trouble for weed or breaking curfew in the NBA. But I won't go there.